Hello, GQ. I'm Austin Butler, and here are my essentials.
Yo, GQ. Actually, it's the people who watch GQ. Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm a rapper who goes by Lil Dicky, and these are my essentials. Can't live without them.
This guitar is very special to me for a couple of reasons. This is the guitar that Elvis played in his 1968 comeback special. So it's a very special guitar to me.
First things first, warmth. I've got this here blanket. I run cold as a human. If you touch my hands at any moment, you might be shocked. You'll think I'm sick.
My next essential, a Carhartt jacket. I've got these in a number of different colors.
When I put these on, I really respect myself. Just like when I'm freestyling and I hear my own voice, I think, oh my God, you really are like the one. This is what I look like when I wear them.
I found my first jacket. I was in my mid-20s and I was in New York and found a vintage one at some spot in Brooklyn, and they just feel good on, they keep you warm. I like the canvas, feel to it.
This cord sucks, it's too long. There's no reason I should ever have a cord this long. It's actually a burden.
This is a brand called Ritual. I found this in New York for the first time, and I like upwards of 72% dark chocolate. I'm not a big milk chocolate fan.
Every night I sleep with this white noise machine on. It just sounds like.
This is a Leica M6. I also have an M4. That was my first film camera that I bought.
There's something that's so ergonomically unsound about my studio setup at home, combined with my frail, just spine and posture choices, that makes it an absolute requirement for me to wear this when I rap and record. This is like my natural posture. Look at how it is without it. I'm doing this for 4 hours straight.
The other fun thing about this, it feels like Christmas morning every time you get film developed. And it's a slower process, so it makes you appreciate it more, and I'm a lot more decisive about what I'm gonna shoot, and which is different than when you just take out your phone and take a bunch of pictures.
Half the music you'll ever hear from me, when I'm recording it, it's like me wearing this thing. You should know that. It doesn't take away any of the swag you think it might. It actually adds value. I feel more like a performer when I wear it.
I guess my thing is, I like the mood in a room to feel a certain way.
One time I went to the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he couldn't believe that I live life this way. My nose is stuffed 95% of the time. I can't even smell. I have no sense of smell.
I found this perfumer in London, and the story that they told me is that she makes individual scents for Johnny Depp whenever he plays different roles, and so he'll have a specific scent for the role. I don't know if it's true, I haven't corroborated that, but I like that story.
I spray it, and it clears me up, at least momentarily, and there's no residual, odor. I've taken other versions of this, and there's this, taste. No, not with nasal cord.
I had this oil that I put on before every time I walked out on stage, and something about just whether you're smelling something or hearing something or feeling something, there's ways that you just can trigger a mental state.
I think fish is meat because it's an animal, right? Is a fish an animal? Yeah, it's an animal. What is an animal? A fish is an animal. An animal is anything with a soul, right?
So my next essential is a good pair of vintage boots.
Where do I begin? This is Harry. He's an alien. One of the best friends I'll ever have. He's been around since I was 8, and I'm 31.
These I found at a vintage store in New York, and I just tried them on, and I've got some others that are, that this part comes up further, but these are just so comfortable.
Big nose, mouth underneath. I draw him a lot. Like if I was at a restaurant and there were crayons and napkins to draw on for children, I would draw Harry.
Then I ended up watching Fight Club one day and seeing Tyler Durden. I believe he's got the same boots in one of the scenes, and he wears them unlaced, and I thought it made me like him even more. I never know until I try on a boot, but some they feel right when you put them on.
What? He also doesn't talk. I don't actually believe that he is a real thing, but it doesn't mean he's not important.
What I used to do is brew yerba mate tea, and then I found this, and then it's kind of this nice cold afternoon delight.
My cream. Every night, you're probably wondering, what's this guy doing at 9:30 p.m.? Is he in the gym getting shots up? Is he collaborating with, like, Kanye West? No, I'm putting cream on my face. I don't know what it does, but I'm normally so greasy. I'm so greasy. Press your finger on my head and you're disgusted until this cream.
Lately, I've been cracking open one of these, and it keeps me going in the afternoon.
Morning, apply the cream. Night, apply the cream. You know, I think you can see facially, like, I'm certainly coming into my own.
This is one of my favorite books. I always try to have a book on me. This one in particular is amazing. This is Raymond Carver's short stories, what we talk about when we talk about love.
So recently, somebody sent me an Oculus. You know, I knew there were like games to play on it and whatnot, but the first thing I did, like I'm sure everybody does, is I looked into like VR porn. Well, that's the only reason this is here.
So my next essential is not just water, because we can't live without it, but a good container to hold it in.
I've got this old, I call it my pink thing.
I find that if I'm active, I am drinking a lot more water. When I go through lazy periods, then I'm not.
The worst thing that can ever happen to somebody, I think, is that they're thirsty. I think. Like, I mean, if you died of thirst, that would suck, so I stand by that comment. Think. The water's cold, it stays cold forever in this thing. I could have cold water in it in the fridge, take it out, put it in the desert, I think. Actually, I'm not sure, but it should, I think it should.
I have so many of these. I've got bookshelves full of these from over the years, and I use it trying to work out my own thought processes. Whenever I get a new notebook, I end up feeling a lot of pressure when I christen the first page.
I've had a Whole Foods rubber band on my left wrist for about 17 straight years. Not the same one, they stretch out. One will last about 3 weeks before it gets too loose and full of lint.
Usually my handwriting is really beautiful on the first page, and I'll start with a poem or something like that, and then progressively it becomes just a stream of consciousness.
There are times where, like, I'll do a concert or something and I'll crowd surf, you know, because I'm cool.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, the rubber band will get, like, ripped off my wrist, and then, like, I won't, like, realize it until, like, 2 hours later, and I'll be shocked.
Actually, reading Matthew McConaughey's book, he talked about not just writing when you're sad, not just writing when you're feeling depressed or anxious, but also making note of the times when things are going really well, and so that way you can look back and say, what was I doing at that point in my life that made me feel empowered or grateful or whatever those things are. So I've been trying to employ that a little bit more.
People think that I wear it to, like, do the, you know, the self-correction thing. No. And I hate, boy do I hate when people come up to me and go like, what's this for? And stretch it out. Happens all the time, and I want to spit in the person's face when they do that. But I don't, because I'm well adjusted.
All right, so that's it. These are my essentials. Thank you, GQ. Thank you for everybody who watched, and I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, GQ. These were my essentials. I'm not saying that you need to do what I do, but obviously I've, like, reached a pinnacle in terms of success, and if you want to adopt the things that I do, go for it. I think it's cool. And thanks for watching. That was cool.